Hi everybody, my name is Barry Schwartz and this is the Search Buzz video recap. Today is Friday, December 4th, and this is the Search Buzz news we covered over the Search Engine Roundtable. This is seroundtable.com over the past week. First up, big news from yesterday. Finally, after asking Google over and over and over again, even Google themselves was upset, but Google is not going to be launching Penguin 4.0, the new real-time and continuous Penguin algorithm. And they're not going to be launching it this year. It will probably launch sometime early next year. But right now, Google said it's too close to the holidays. If they launch it, it's not going to, and there's issues, they're not going to be as around to actually fix those issues. And thus, it's not ready to be launched right before the holidays. So they're going to go ahead and push it off, and hopefully they'll be launching it sometime in the early 2016. I hope sometime in January. This was a statement they sent me. With the holidays upon us, it looks like Penguins won't march until next year. John Mueller from Google also confirmed it looks like it's not going to happen. And obviously, there's a lot of webmasters who are upset. It's been, I think, about 13 and a half months or so since Penguin 3.0 launched. We did see some Penguin 3.0 movement throughout December of 2014. But it's going to be over a year since we had any Penguin movement at all around Google, which is obviously upsetting for those who were hit by the Penguin algorithm. But again, if they launch something and it blows up and they're not around to fix it, it could be a massive issue. I did post the monthly Google Webmaster Report, this is the December report, just to quickly go through some of the quick things that we discussed. There was some Google updates that were not Google updates. They didn't confirm them, which we discussed in the past. Google released the Search Quality Raters Guidelines. Google said, and I'll get this into more detail, clicks matter for local search, and they retracted it. Google removed the local filters, which I'll get into soon as well. And if you want to catch up quickly on all the webmaster-related stuff, definitely take a look at this post, which we posted yesterday on December 3rd at seroundtable.com. So Google admitted in a post earlier this week that click data impacted the Google My Business local listings for rankings. And this is a post by a person named Rahul J from Google, and he basically wrote right here, as you can see, in the past, Google search history, in the past, how many times a listing has been clicked on by users searching for that keyword. And Google has said time and time again they don't use click data specifically for web search, but the local results was believed they did use click data. And that's one of many, many factors for local results. Google changed that statement after I wrote about it and after I emailed them about it. They didn't tell us anything about why they changed it, but they just changed it. They said, let me show you if the screenshots load here. So basically, they first said what I said, that clicks matter, and now it reads search history, the number of times it has been useful historically on the basis of relevance, prominence, and distance. So here's the before and after. Before, clicked on by users. After, historical basis on relevance, prominence, and distance, which is those three. It removed the whole line about click data. And I asked Google about this. I have a post on Search Engine Land this morning saying what's going on, and Google would not. Google basically said the guy posted by mistake. It was a mistake. Was it a mistake that the content was a mistake, or was it a mistake that they just didn't want people to know about it? Google wasn't clear on telling me what the answer was. They were implying it was the content, that clicks doesn't really make a difference. But they wouldn't give me a statement around saying clicks don't make a difference on local. So hopefully we'll have some more information about that going forward. But right now it just seems a little bit sneaky and a little bit fishy. Google also on the local side removed a filter that lets searchers across the world actually say, show me results as if I was in this location. There used to be an option over here to like filter your search results by that specific country, and is no longer there. You can go ahead and actually use the near operator or some other operators to go ahead and get local specific results, but honestly, Google removed it because of lack of use. And usually when they remove these features, it first goes away from the actual interface, and then it will stop working with the parameters where you put the near equals whatever or whatever parameters you might want to use. There's several parameters you can use to actually get away with it, and there's still tools that use those parameters, but again, I think that's going to go away in the near future. On the local side, again, Google has dropped the local details from the main listings for those local results. So in the past, if you did a search for, I don't know, a certain business, let's say my business like Rusty Brick, it would show on the right-hand side, obviously, the map and the details about the business, but also on the first listing, www.rustybrick.com, on the left-hand side, it would actually show a map pin with the map data right below it. Now, Google has removed that map pin with the local data below it. All it does is show the actual listing without any map data below this listing over here on the left-hand side. So it used to show, if you could zoom in here, it used to show this map result details, the listings here, and now it just shows it without this at all. And the question is Google removed it on purpose because it's kind of redundant to what's over here, or did Google remove it by accident? And I asked Google, I haven't heard back yet from them. A few weeks ago, I reported that Google has added place action rich snippets documentation to the Google Help Center. Well, those links actually now work. Back then it didn't work. They were just 404 in those pages, and now it does work. And basically it lets you add markup to your pages to either book an appointment, place orders, or complete reservations. And that is pretty cool because then you can actually have a link in the one box or the local knowledge box on the right-hand side with the ability to actually place orders, make appointments, or make reservations. It's currently a beta, so you have to actually fill out a form to get into that beta. And I have more details today at Search Engine Roundtable on December 4th. We reported this months ago. Basically, if you're using apps, you're doing app indexing, and you are in the Google Search Console, the crawl errors hasn't been updated for, I think, over a month or so. And you have issues with your crawl data and crawling with Google and your app indexing stuff. The Google crawl errors section in the Google Search Console for apps is not going to really do much good for you. Google's John Mueller said you should definitely instead use the fetch and render tool, which again I don't think works perfectly either. The problem is this is really all new, and the Google Search Console stuff is new around app indexing. So it's really trial and error and just waiting, like old-time SEO. Make a change, wait, see if it works. Great. The tools themselves in the Google Search Console are very outdated, and it's hard to actually see if it works, and hopefully it will work soon. But right now it's not fully working. Google came out with a new cool app install ad format for AdWords, or Google Play. Sorry. Basically, remember the app streaming feature we discussed a few weeks ago about how you could use Android, do a search for an app, click on an app, and actually stream it without downloading the app through the Google Play app? Well, now that you can actually do that with ads. So I should say 60 seconds to change that, but basically you would click on an ad, it would actually not download the ad, it would actually load the ad through the streaming service and let you play with it for 60 seconds before it actually turns off the game or whatever app you installed. So that's a pretty cool feature. And there's other couple, there's two features they released, but that's the cooler feature they released around app install ads. Google Chrome. The Google Chrome app for Android, if you're in countries like India or Indonesia that might have slow internet mobile capabilities, Google's Chrome app will now go ahead and load the content first and then load the images after to try to give you the content before the images. This way you can actually speed up your page load speed time. And that said, that will save users on their data plans about 70% of their data according to their studies. And finally, this past December 2nd was the 12th year anniversary of the Search Engine Roundtable, meaning the 12 years since I've been writing about search. Obviously, I've been in the search industry for longer, but I've been writing specifically about search, literally like 4 to 6 posts per day, Monday through Friday, about search consistently for the past 12 years. In just some general stats, I wrote over 21,000 stories, which I wrote over 18,400 just myself over the past 12 years at this specific site. I wrote at Search Engine Land, I write at Search Engine Land, I wrote at Search Engine Watch, I wrote at other sites as well. So I think I've done over 30 to 40,000 articles in general on search in my writing career, if you call me a writer or not. So I did 1,700 stories this past year just on Search Engine Roundtable, and I listed what the most popular stories were. But just my 2016 recommendations, most people do it at the end of December, but this is my anniversary for the Search Engine Roundtable. One is, I still think you should, like last year I said you should focus on mobile. That's obviously going to be important, but Google is obviously focusing a lot on app indexing. I say definitely focus on that. Also, AMP, accelerated mobile pages. Google's really going to be pushing that big time in 2016, so look into that. And then I did a post last week about ambient computing and the universal, assistant. That's something you should be looking into as well. And that's my 2016 advice. Anyway, thanks so much for being such long-time readers and watchers of the video. And again, thanks for listening to the Search Buzz video recap. My name again is Barry Schwartz, and this is the search news we covered over at the Search Engine Roundtable at seroundtable.com over the past week. Thank you very much, and have a great weekend. Bye.